Grier Manning devoted more than 50 years of his life to the Pikes Peak Hill Climb. From the 1950s through the early 2000s, Manning was a fixture on the mountain.
As a mechanic, a racer, tech inspector, they're what make the race go and keep it going.
He was known for his unfailing expertise, thoughtful insight, and humble demeanor.
Grier was just cool behind the wheel. You'd see guys fighting it, Grier never fought it. You see pictures of him, he's just like...
Until I got older, I was kind of afraid of talking to Grier because he was like this magical race car driver.
He was one of my closest friends. We just had good times together.
Between 1963 and 1970, and again in 1977, Grier competed in the open wheel division.
The upright, not really sprinters, but more like a champ car, longer wheelbase. And he always loved those because I think he thought that was kind of the purest form of racing up there.
In 1967 and 1968, he switched from Chevrolet power to Offenhauser, driving for JC Agajanian.
He was one of the guys that a lot of people around the country went to if they had issues with their Offy.
Manning finished in the top 10 6 times on Pikes Peak. Beyond his skill as a driver, Manning was widely recognized as one of the premier mechanics in Colorado.
And that was a talent that most people didn't have both of them. They maybe had one or the other, but he had both.
Pikes Peak, you have to tune the car for multiple different altitudes, and he could do it. He tuned them all by feel and sound. He would lay his hand on each injection or each air intake into the engine, and he could tune them that way.
Manning became a respected technical inspector for this race for 3 decades. He also helped restore the historic Pikes Peak Vince Conzi-built Offy, which now resides in the Penrose Heritage Museum.
I'd love to go to his garage. It was just a museum in itself.
I used to go down to their garage every Saturday morning.
I was just amazed at all of the technology and everything he had around his shop.
In 2011, Manning was inducted into both the Big Car Racing Association, BCRA, and Colorado Motorsports Hall of Fame.
He was somebody who was very well respected as a mechanic, and as a competitor, I think he was known as a very tough competitor, but very, very fair. It's just integrity and the character of man that he was.
Please join us in honoring Grier Manning for his induction into the Pikes Peak Hill Climb Hall of Fame.